Hi, today we're going to talk about a double half square triangle or a flying goose block. And the reason it's called a double half square triangle is because you can take two half square triangles and put them together and it makes this block, which is a flying goose or a double half square triangle. So if you take your seam there, that's one way you can make it, but I'm going to show you another way to do it today. What you do is you cut your background piece, and this is going to be the bigger part or the goose part, and it's always got to be twice as wide as it is tall. So this one finish is going to be 3 by 6. So I cut it 3.5 by 6.5. So you just make it double wide as it is tall and then add a 1/2 inch. And then you have to have two squares that are going to make your sky part of this, and they have to be the height of this, or so 3.5, and it just has to be square. So you have two 3.5 inch squares for this one. Then you draw a line from corner to corner, and if you want to, you can draw another line that's a 1/2 inch away, because then you can sew on both lines, and then you end up with, when you cut this off, you'll have a half square triangle you can use for another project. If you're too little, I wouldn't worry about it, but these actually were cut from the edges of those, and then I trimmed them up. So those are big enough to use, so I did that on those. Okay, the first thing you do is you sew, lay it out, and you sew it on the line. I like to do it just barely off the line, and I don't know if you can see that. I actually sewed it with the red thread, so I hope you can. And I sewed it maybe just a little bit further away from the line than I would, but I like to sew it just maybe a thread width away from the line towards the corner. And that allows for, when this folds back, that it's going to just fit perfectly there. There's 3 things you can do. You can leave it like it is and leave three fabrics here in your seam. You can cut away the middle one only and leave the back and the corner, or you can just cut both of these away, and so you only have one fabric there. If you're a beginner sewer, it might be good to just cut out this middle one and leave the background, because you know this is the right size, and if this doesn't fit exactly when you fold it back, then you will know to follow the red part instead of the white. But I've done it long enough that I do cut them both out, and I will sew on this line and then cut between, and then I'll have my little half square triangle there. But it's up to you, whatever you do. I've seen people do all kinds. But you have to make sure that you fold this back and press it before you do the next step. And the next step is the same thing on the other side. And I'm going to sew just off the line here, and then I sewed my other one, and then I'm going to cut between them, and I'm going to press it back, and that gives you your double half square triangle. Now you have to make sure that this point is about 1/4 inch from the edge. Some people think that's a mistake when they fold it back and it doesn't work, but that's exactly how it should be. So when this gets pressed, that should be about 1/4 inch, so when you make your seam, that'll be right there on the seam. It's a really fun and easy block, and it's used a lot in borders and in other blocks, so try it, and I hope you'll have fun with it. See ya next time. Bye.